Hey guys, what is up? Lefty back here again, and thanks for checking out the video. So today we're going to be talking about some basic bitch communication shit, so let's get right into it. Okay guys, so I think in times like these it pays dividends to actually be prepared with a lot of things, including communication. I think communication is probably one of the most important factors that you need to consider, and also one of the things I think is overlooked to a certain degree. And then when it's not overlooked, I think it's a little bit overemphasized in terms of what you actually need. So I'm going to go through kind of the basic poor setup for communications, and like I said, in times like these I've actually kind of rearranged some stuff, and especially with videos and stuff, and just kind of prioritize certain things that I think people should get that I'm not really seeing. So anyway, let's get right into it. So everybody knows kind of the basic bitch radio, the Baofeng. You're going to your Iraqi special and stuff like that. This is the Baofeng UV-IR. This is what I recommend for people to get into. It will not come with this big ass antenna. This is a upgraded antenna. This is going to be the Nagoya 771. From what I've heard, this is probably what you need to get to extend that range and all the capability of this little ham radio. So, and I'm not going to go through everything. I'm just going to kind of lay it out what I use and what seems to work for me and for what I need. If that makes sense, I am in no way an expert on this, just going to kind of show and tell what I've learned from other people that know a little bit more than I do, which is not saying much, but just kind of show it out for everybody to kind of look at, because there's not a lot of good videos, I would say, out there. It is what it is. So anyway, get yourself a UV-IR. It's a good starting place. I think right now they're about 18 bucks. Can't go wrong. The new ones, you do have to jailbreak them or whatever. Basically, you got to turn it off, hold some buttons, turn it back on. That will factory reset and allow the radio to basically do what it was meant to do, which is broadcast on a lot more wattage, a lot more channels than what they restricted it to. So anyway, that's what that is. So now, once you have this is basically all you need. And like I said, this little antenna, I think, is about 20 bucks. So right here, you're looking at $40. So just kind of go with it here. And we'll do kind of a comparison, sort of, in terms of price and kind of what you get later on. There are going to be a lot more nicer, a lot more expensive radios, but those are going to obviously equate to higher prices, especially if you need to outfit more than just two or so for your consideration. Next, what I would like to recommend to everybody else is that you need some sort of way of keying in the mic. So I would recommend some sort of push-to-talk. It can be sort of the military style, or you can do just kind of like, I don't know if you want to call this kind of a cop rig. This is a B-Tech, also on Amazon. I think you can get these for right around 20 bucks. So basically, this is kind of your setup right here. If you want to go your sort of tactical or emergency setup, this is what you got. This is about 60 bucks right here. It works, it sounds good enough, and it will do the job for most things. Obviously, depending on how far this thing will travel, depends on your situation. If you're in buildings and if you're surrounded by trees like I am, you're kind of shit out of luck for most things that you would wish you could do. But for this little setup here, it's not bad. If you wanted to do kind of like your basic bitch shit goes down, but you don't want to do something that's super duper tactical or anything like that, that's all you got to do. You can see my little tail back here. No? All right, anyway. So I'll put the radio in the back pocket, can turn it on, I can key in the mic. It looks a little ridiculous, but if shit goes down where you just need to have kind of communication sort of thing, natural disaster, that kind of stuff, cell phones ain't working, this is a setup that can fill that role. Granted, you got some big coil cable, pigtail cable on you, but it is what it is. It's also pretty cheap, but it works. Now, for what everybody wants to do is kind of the high-speed tactical earmuff setup and all that fun stuff. So basically what you need is some sort of electronic ear pro. Forgive me, this flap is not plugged in just because it's a pain in the ass to get it out, and I just have it kind of off there just so if I need to load batteries into it without draining them, I can do that. Because I had another one of these and the batteries leaked and they fucked up the terminals. Luckily I was able to get it off with some vinegar and scraping and a whole bunch, but anyway, that's just details. So anyway, you need to get some sort of electronic ear pro. There's a lot of decent ones out there. You don't need to go spend the $500 on the really, really fancy military ones, in my opinion. If you just need something that's going to protect your hearing and also allow you to hear shit and also allow you to do communications with. These, I think, are right around 100 bucks. They have a Howard Lights that I think have the capability of doing that. And I think they're like 40 bucks. I haven't checked on those for a while. I never was able to wear those because my ears kind of stick out too much and those things hurt my ears. But these are really nice. They have really nice gel cups and stuff in them, blah, blah, blah. These are the Tactical 300s, the 300 Sport Tacticals by Peltor. Big fan of these. They also have a slightly cheaper one, which I think are the Sport Tac 100s. They're just as good, a little bit lower noise rating because their gel cups are not as thick, but you know, it is what it is, and obviously the band is nicer, stuff like that. So that's kind of your basic bitch setup here. And so if I was going to wear this, I would basically need some sort of 3.5 millimeter headset jack. This is like your standard headset jack when everybody used to walk around with fucking iPods and having the white little string up in here. It's the same connector, right? I know we don't really use those anymore, but that's what you need. You don't need any fancy military down lead or anything like that and get all kind of confusing. Because that was one thing I was trying to running into a little bit of an issue where they needed specific down leads and shit like that. It just kind of confused the fuck out of me. And I'm a simple person, you know, I just want simple stuff that will work, that's cost effective, you know. So just a simple 3.5 millimeter down lead into another 3.5 millimeter down lead. Now it will depend on the actual push to talk that you get, but if you get this set up, like I said, for 60 bucks, it will clip right in here in this little port. Un momento, por favor. Well, I try once again to put this thing in a hole. That doesn't want to go. There we go. All right. So it goes just like that. Now, if you want to be all sporty tactical, let me make sure this is on the right side here. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. All right, there you go. I look a little ridiculous, but it's fine. And these aren't on at all, so I can't really hear myself. I'm just going to do that so I'm not screaming at the camera. But as you can see, 3.5 millimeter down leads going up in here. I can push talk, be all super duper fancy. Obviously, I'm left-handed, so my rifle's going to be here, so this doesn't interfere. Obviously, you should do that. And then also, the wires are a bit of a mess, but you know, it is what it is. Now, there's going to be people like, well, can you set this up on a plate carrier? Sure can. Home skillet, 1 second. All right, so here's mine, and this is kind of what I'm doing. And like I said, you don't need anything fucking fancy to do this stuff, especially with comms, because you know, it just works for, you know. So take it what you will. So this is my plate carrier. This is what I got right now. If you've seen videos on it before, law enforcement plate carrier by Velocity Systems. Good bang for your buck. I think they're on Brownell still for like 170 bucks. Like, pretty damn good. So I got the Haley rig on the front. Not a lot of extra pockets to put comms in right now. So what I decided to do is kind of a old school kind of SWAT method sort of shit, where just taking a old pouch, and this is an HSGI medical pouch, I think that's what it's called, where it's got the little pull strap and shit where it shoots all the medical gear. And as you can see, this is why I don't really use it for medical stuff, because I don't really want everything to come flying out, but you know, it's not bad regardless. But yeah, so I would just stuff that in, and I can do a quick little run through of it. Just, you know, give me 1 second. That fucking thing is sticking out so goddamn far. Get over here, you bitch. All right, so this is all set up very quickly. As you can see, I have a strap coming through. Don't mind that. I did not run anything just because I wanted everything to be pretty seeable here. So everything's not run, obviously, but I have my comm cable coming up here, 3.5 through here. I can run it through, I can run this little pigtail thing through here to give a little bit more of kind of wire management. And what I've noticed quickly is wire management kind of a pain in the ass. So, you know, do with it what you will and make sure you get, if you have a plate carrier that already works for you, you're fine. You don't need to upgrade anything. You can be creative and use tape or bungees or rubber bands to secure things. But as you can see, that's what I got. And I got my fancy, super tactical push a talk shit. And if I'm wearing a plate carrier, I can set it up in this rig and I can, you know, get to work, I guess. You know, you might be saying, wow, this looks a little fucking silly and retarded, and you're not incorrect. I think all this shit is up until you need to wear it and stuff like that. And it kind of seems like we're getting close to a point that could potentially happen. So anyway, hope this was at least a little bit helpful for everybody. You don't need to go out and spend a lot of money on stuff like this. This stuff will work. Now, if you have the funds and you really want to be on top of your fucking communications game and all that fun stuff, then yeah, by all means, if you want to spend more money on better stuff, nicer stuff, be my guest. But I have not seen, I think there's a little bit too much focus on that and not a lot of focus on just setting up stuff that will work if you need it to. But anyway, hope it was helpful for everybody. I think my entire comm setup is probably, what is that, 20, 60, about 160-ish bucks. including headset, obviously taxes and shipping, I guess, on some things, but not too bad considering most headsets for the tactical realm are probably in the nature of $200 to $300 just for the headset. So not terrible. So like I said, I mean, that's pretty much it for the video. Just want to do a quick video on this topic for people that are kind of lost in the weeds, as I sort of was for a little bit there, and just kind of help anybody out for a more basic setup and stuff like that. If you like the channel, you want to support the channel, there's links down here if you want to support. I will try to link some of this stuff, the ones that I got, in the description, so you guys don't have to like search for it if you want to get it through Amazon and all that fun stuff. Yeah, I would recommend, I do have a Twitter or an X page, would recommend everybody check that out. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you like the video, support the channel down there, and yeah, be good, guys.